we can get stuck in our picking and choosing. I mean, one of the things that characterizes our lives is that most people want to be right. In an argument, we want to be right. We don't give up. And there's that classic tale of the blind man and the elephant. And I don't remember all of the details, but they're touching different parts of it. One's touching the leg, and he says, "This is a tree." Another one's touching the tail, and he says, "This is a piece of rope." Another one's touching the trunk and says, "It's a snake." So they're arguing with each other about what it is. They want to be right, and they're picking and choosing, but things can appear so differently depending on the perspective that you're looking at it from. And the perspective we look at it from is usually due to our conditioning, our habits that we developed, and our unquestioned hidden beliefs that we developed when we were young, and we just carry them forward. We don't question them. So this is the way we see things. There's that famous story about the guru who is trying to mediate an argument between two members of his community. And one of them presented his case, and the guru said, "You're right." And the other one presented his case, and the guru said, "You're right." And so his attendant, who was standing there watching the whole thing, he said to the guru, he said, "This person presented an argument, you said he was right, and this person presented a different argument, and you said he's right." And the guru looks at him and he says, "You're right." Yeah. So always we want to keep relating this back to our practice. So when we sit, all kinds of thoughts come up, but we just need to, let them go and keep coming back to our sitting over and over again, to our breath. And then it's not a question of good or bad or right and wrong. It's just sitting. It's one body. We're not separate at all. There's nothing separate. Yeah, this is from my book, give it a plug. The Book of Equanimity and Explaining 100 Koans with my commentary. There's a quote here from Master Bankei, who's Japanese Zen master. I think he lived in the 17th century, so about 400 years ago. He said, "You people try to stop your thoughts of clinging and craving from arising, and then by stopping them, you divide one mind into two. The original clinging thoughts that you were able to stop may have come to an end, but the subsequent thoughts concerned with your stopping them won't ever cease. Well, you might wonder, what can I do to stop them? Just let them come. Don't develop them any further. Don't attach to them. Without concerning yourself about whether to stop your rising thoughts or not to stop them, just don't bother with them. And then there's nothing else they can do but vanish. You can't have an argument with the fence. When there's no one there to fight with, things can't help but simply come to an end of themselves. So when you're fighting with your thoughts, you're putting energy into them and actually enhancing them. But what if you just ignore them? Even the most brilliant thought that you ever had in your life while you're sitting, can you just let it go? The way to not engage thoughts is to just keep bringing your mind back to your breath, back to your koan, back to your sitting, and then the thoughts will become like clouds in the sky, and they'll just drift on, and you won't be seeding them with other thoughts so that then you create a thunder shower of many more thoughts. You just ignore them and they'll go. Again, the point is that the effort you need to make in your practice is not to gain anything, but to let go. To let go of whatever you're holding on to. And there's a certain fear to do that, because if we let go, then we won't know who we are. Because we think we know who we are. But that attachment, that picking and choosing, is what's causing us our suffering. Because if things go against that attachment, then we resist it. And that resistance just leads to confusion and sadness and pain. So, how much can we let go? How much can we let go? So, the more you let go, the closer you'll be to your true self. And that true self is spacious like the sky.